Graham Foster is carefully planning his strategy against Kim Tate in Emmerdale. He has already stated that the only reason he is staying at Home Farm is because of Joe Tate, believing he can convince the young man that Kim's approach to life is misguided. Soon after unexpectedly returning, Graham took the opportunity to remind Kim that they are still legally married. Kim quickly realized that his return might be motivated by a desire to claim part of her business interests, and she promised to prove this so Joe would understand that Graham had not come back for him. Despite their ongoing conflict, Kim is also struggling with the emotional impact of her former partner reappearing in her life. In upcoming scenes, she tells Lydia Dingle that she plans to guard her feelings and not let Graham get close again. Yet discussing his return clearly leaves her feeling exposed and unsettled. At the same time, Joe grows increasingly irritated with Graham. He is tired of Graham's repeated efforts to turn him against Kim. However, Graham remains determined and realizes he will need to work even harder to convince Joe that Kim is manipulative. The question remains whether Graham will succeed in changing Joe's opinion. To bring Kim down, Graham might seek assistance from someone else in the village. Not long after announcing his return at the local pub, Ruby Miligan approached him and introduced herself. Caleb Miligan did not need an introduction because he already had a past connection with Graham. Back in 2023, when Caleb was attempting to seize control of Home Farm from Kim, it was revealed that he is the son of Frank Tate. Frank died after suffering a heart attack, while Kim watched the situation unfold without helping. Believing he deserved what Kim had, Caleb came to the village determined to ruin her life. Later that year, he confronted Kim and revealed that he knew she had allowed Frank to die. When Kim questioned how he discovered such an old secret, Caleb admitted that he had once gotten Graham drunk and learned the full story about Frank's final moments. Because of this shared history, Graham could potentially ask Caleb to join forces with him. If Caleb becomes involved, the chances of Joe turning against Kim might increase, especially since Caleb is Joe's uncle. For now, Graham remains patient and focused on his plan. Whether this patience will eventually help him defeat Kim and achieve his goal remains to be seen. Emmerdale has revealed what may lie ahead for Paddy Dingle and Mandy after the dramatic bear-wolf crisis. Next week, Paddy makes a huge choice in an effort to protect his father, Bear Wolf. When he discovers that Bear could be facing a life sentence for the murder of Ray Walters, Paddy admits that he helped hide the crime. After discussing the situation with his wife Mandy, Paddy decides to turn himself in to the police. Fellow witness Dylan Penders also goes to the authorities with him. However, the big question is whether Paddy and Mandy's marriage can survive if he ends up in prison. Speaking about Mandy's response, the actor who portrays Paddy explained that she reacts with understanding and support. Mandy had been away in Ireland, and when she returned, she believed that telling the truth was the best option for everyone involved. She felt that honesty from the beginning might have prevented the situation from escalating. Mandy stands firmly by her husband despite the circumstances. She worries about losing him and about the possibility that their newly formed family life could fall apart if he is imprisoned. The longtime actor also suggested that their relationship could withstand the challenge even if Paddy is jailed. According to him, Mandy is very forgiving, which helps them move past difficult moments. He noted that the couple are quick to resolve their problems because their bond is very strong. Even when Paddy apologizes for being dishonest, Mandy encourages them to communicate more openly instead of repeating the same mistakes. At the same time, she does not hesitate to warn him that she will not tolerate the same behavior again. Her mix of forgiveness and firmness helps keep their relationship balanced. Although Paddy may still face time in prison, the actor described the storyline as both serious and exciting to film. The plot contained many twists, and even the cast sometimes struggled to keep track of what was happening. He added that during filming, the actors were often unsure whether their characters were telling the truth or hiding something, which made the experience both confusing and entertaining. Watching the episodes later and seeing how everything fit together was particularly satisfying for the cast. Emmerdale has revealed a tense new development as Bear Wolf faces a crucial police interview during the investigation into Ray Walters' murder. Bear is determined to accept full responsibility for the crime, but the big question is whether he will manage to maintain his story under the pressure of a tough interrogation. Viewers already know that Bear did kill Ray earlier this year after catching the villain attacking his son Paddy Dingle and Dylan Penders. After the incident, the three of them worked together to hide what had happened. Later, Bear chose to shoulder the blame alone and told the police that he had acted in self-defense. However, Detective Sergeant Walsh quickly noticed problems with his confession and realized that important details were missing. She suspected that Bear was not revealing the complete truth about the situation. In the next episode, Bear plans to insist that he intentionally killed Ray in an attempt to shield the others involved from police suspicion. A newly released preview clip shows Bear facing another intense round of questioning from Walsh after recently violating the conditions of his bail. During the interview, his lawyer explains that Bear's escape from the hospital was linked to his mental health struggles. Despite this explanation, the detective focuses on revisiting the moments leading up to Ray's death. She asks Bear to clarify several unanswered questions and challenges the accuracy of his earlier statement. Walsh points out that his story does not fully make sense if he claims he was alone. She presses him further, asking whether his son Paddy was actually present and if he helped kill Ray Walters and place the body in the van. Joe Tate's secret plan to take control of Butler's farm in Emmerdale is getting dangerously close to being uncovered by the sharp-witted Kim Tate. It is easy to overlook just how ruthless Joe can be. Only last December, the village was dealing with villains like Celia Daniels and Ray Walters creating chaos, while Joe's biggest Christmas plan appeared to be proposing to Dawn Taylor. However, appearances can be deceiving. The wealthy schemer is now fully back to his manipulative ways, motivated by one main goal: greed. After Kim asked for his help in purchasing the land around Home Farm, Joe quickly targeted Butler's farm. He has been determined to secure it by any means possible, even if that means blackmailing Victoria Sugden over the death of her brother in self-defense, and persuading Robert Sugden to frame Moira Barton for the crimes of a drug-dealing and people-trafficking criminal. As if the situation was not already dramatic enough, the Tates' ambitious plans were recently disrupted by the shocking return of Graham Foster, Joe's former mentor and Kim's ex-husband. He strongly disapproves of the family's ruthless strategy for expanding their business and believes there must be a better way. Because of this, Joe has been careful to keep his plans hidden. Emmerdale is broadcast on weekday evenings at 8 p.m. on ITV1, and it is also available to stream on ITVX.